Hello class. Today we are going to be creating the World War I foldable that's going to go next to your page 9 in your notebook. It will become your page 10. So you will see also a completed map on the inside. So I'm going to walk you through the steps pretty quickly, how to cut apart your handouts that you got today so that you can do this. I've done this several times, so I know that I can make it look pretty easy. So if you need to stop at any time and pause to catch up, then do what you need to do. Okay? So, but when you're done, you should have a nice World War I foldable that you can use to study and review World War I in your notebook. Okay? So the first step would be to cut apart your handout poster, the World War I poster, and notice my math people in here that like shapes. You've got squares, you've got rectangles. We have a really long rectangle banner across the middle here. So we're going to cut these pieces out and not cut anything. If you don't cut anything curved. Okay, so notice I'm going to be cutting out the banner first. Now some folks might want to go around the edges and cut out the white around the edges just to kind of clean it up a little bit. That's fine if you want to do that first ahead of time, or if you want to do it after you've already cut out the squares and rectangles. That works also. So I'm cutting out that white space around the edges so that we can have everything fit the way it should fit. So now I have cleaned it up. There's no white space around the edges. And now I'm going to cut out that banner across the middle because we're going to use that on the inside, across the inside of our foldable. Okay? Take your time cutting. I know I'm kind of going through this fast. Just to show you the steps. So now I have my banner that I'm going to be using as a heading inside the foldable, and then I have my two long pieces here. So now I'm going to cut my causes off the end of the Allied Powers, and I'm going to cut my results off the other end of the Allied Powers. So now I have a rectangle and two squares from that one, and then when I see my Central Powers piece, I'm going to cut off U.S. involvement Y square, and then I'm going to cut off the U.S. leadership square there. So now I have my two outside pieces, and these are what's going to become the front of my windows on the foldable. Okay, so the best way to go on and make sure we're not losing any pieces is take your long green sheet of paper and do the window fold with that. That's where you come in from both sides, like with the shutters, and fold those towards the center. So you want to get those in the middle so that you have the shutter fold. Okay, so this is what we have going on here. So you're going to glue down your Central Powers on, I have mine on my left, and then I have my Allied Powers on the right. So that way when I glue those down, I'm going to have the circle come back together in the middle there, and I'm going to color code. I'm going to color my Central Powers red and my Allied Powers green. Okay, then I'm going to be writing across the top, and I put this picture in Google Classroom for you, World War I, the Great War, as my title on my foldable. Okay, so you can go back and color that later. Now I'm going to show you the inside. The inside of the foldable, you'll be gluing down a map that I'm giving you. So you're going to be cutting apart this map. You do not need World War I Alliance's top part here. You don't need that part. It's going to take up a lot of valuable space in your inside of your foldable. So I'm going to say cut underneath that. You want to leave your map key. So notice your map key. We want to leave that where it says Allied Central Powers. Leave that. Okay, and we're also cutting across the bottom, and I'm going to leave the part that says this map shows Europe as it looked in World War I. I'm going to leave that part. Okay, so now I have my map. This is going to become the central part of the inside of your foldable. Okay, so there's our map. We're going to be color coding. I have put a picture of this in Google Classroom also for you to see the finished product, but basically we're color coding Allied green, Central Powers red, and we're going to add a neutral. Neutral is going to be yellow. So I have posted this in Google Classroom for you to see that map and the colors there. should match your flags, and then you add your neutrals. Okay, if you need to pause this to do it, come back later, do what you need to do. Okay, then we're going to take those squares that you have. We're going to be adding, and I know this looks backwards to you, I apologize for that, but causes go your top left, and U.S. involvement Y goes under that, because that's kind of the causes of why the U.S. got involved. Your banner is going to go across the top. And then on the far right side, you're going to have results of the war, which makes sense because that's the end. And then U.S. leadership, basically during the war and after the war. We'll get more into that later. You'll learn more about this. Some of this is going to sound very unfamiliar, but we're going to come back to that. So today you're going to take your time. You're going to color nicely. And if you need to look in Google Classroom or watch this video a couple times to help you put this together, but you're going to glue all those pieces together. And when you're done, you should be able to glue the back of this down on page 10 in your notebook. So you're going to have a finished World War I. I apologize if I have said World War II anywhere, because sometimes I accidentally do that, since we learn about that later. So your World War I foldable is going to go on page 10 in your handy-dandy history notebook. Okay, and I've posted pictures of the outside and the map, the inside, on Google also, along with this video, so you should have it all right there to help you put this together, because folks are going to be working quietly today. We are finishing projects in class, and this is something that we're doing. It's kind of like a little World War I arts and crafts session today to learn and be more independent. Okay, so thank you for doing an excellent job. I know you're going to do just fine on this, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow and Friday. All right, thank you very much.